Joseph, I'm worried.
About?
Because this is a family-friendly show, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
No cussing.
No cussing, but that's my problem, because today we're talking about a game that has quite a bit of representation of, HE double hockey sticks. And for the sake of me not having to look around, make sure my parents aren't coming down on me, I'm not sure if we can think of a more efficient way to say HE double hockey sticks. Sorry.
I think we could go with Big Red Place.
Ooh.
It's pretty safe.
But my problem is when you say Big Red Place, I think of Red Robin.
That's true. That's also possibly where I'm going tonight.
Red Robin?
Yeah.
Or HE double hockey sticks.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Speculation Station, a very fun little podcast that I do here with my buddy Eric. Say hello. He didn't say hello, which is a little problematic.
Sorry, I was not listening.
And we're already off to a great start, as you can see.
Hello.
In this fun little show, we take a video game series or a single video game title and turn it into a movie.
Yep, that's the whole concept.
In the flesh.
So this week we're talking about a game all about killing things.
Ooh, let me guess. Is it Pac-Man?
Kinda like Pac-Man.
Oh,
it's definitely, there's some inspiration there.
Then it's gotta be Animal Crossing.
Not yet. Not quite. Kind of a spiritual predecessor. Luigi's Mansion. I made a joke.
Why don't you go ahead and say that again?
But it's literally, because if you think about it, he's in a mansion he's owned, and then there's a ghost. So it's like sorry.
Is that the story of Pac-Man?
No, that's Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is in the middle ground between Animal Crossing and Pac-Man.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, where the hell was I going with that? So today we're going to be talking about a game I'm not familiar with, so this should be fun. We're talking about Doom.
Doom.
Usually with just the one D.
Are you familiar with anything Doom related?
Yeah, big Halo man kills the demons.
Big Halo man kills the demon. All right.
He looks like the Halo guy, Master Chief.
Even though he came first.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying what I'm familiar with.
Sure.
I'm just giving you my point of reference.
In that same regard, people could say that the Doom guy looks like Samus.
And Samus, of course, looks like the Dig Dug guy. Now, we are kind of working a little differently than last week's episode of Fallout, because there's already a Doom movie, huh?
Yeah, there's in fact two.
Wait, are there really?
Yep, there's one back made by The Rock, or with The Rock, I'm sorry, not made by The Rock.
The Rock made it.
There's one with The Rock starring The Rock, and then there's one that came out recently, which is literally just a bad version of Event Horizon.
Doom Annihilation?
Yep.
Oh my god, this looks crappy.
And it was. That's why we're here today.
To try to do better than both Netflix and The Rock.
The first Doom movie actually put the game itself into obscurity. Like, people literally stopped doing anything with it after the first one.
Because it was so bad?
Because it was very meh. It wasn't even that it was terrible. Now, okay, that's debatable. Certain people loved it, certain people hated it. And that's going to be the same with all video game movies. Is you're going to have one group of people who absolutely love it to death, even though it sucks, and the other people who look at it as a movie, like you, and say, man, this sucks.
You're going to have a bunch of nerds who say, this doesn't uphold the lore of my favorite video game series.
Yeah, but those don't count.
We're not making this podcast for them. Although, if you do like the podcast, please feel free to subscribe in iTunes or Spotify. So the Doom 2006 movie.
Yeah.
With Dwayne. The Rock. He does not play the Doom guy, right?
There is no Doom guy.
There is no Doom guy, really?
It has been a minute since I watched this one. I do remember more closely Doom Annihilation because that one actually made me feel anger.
Did it have? Did Doom Annihilation have the Doomguy in it?
No.
Okay, so let's just like right off the bat, let's go ahead and just say we're gonna include the Doomguy in it because that seems like a pretty important thing.
Mm-hmm. Some things that the Doom movies do get correct, though, is the inclusion of hell, Mars, demons, and guns.
But not the Doomguy, huh? That's so... I feel like video game movies, the Resident Evil series did this. Like, they just don't use the main character of the games. It's like, guys, it's so easy. Just make the movie from the game.
Now, for any game that you are making into a movie, you don't always want to take the path of least resistance. You don't always want to say, hey, let's just straight up copy the game's story into a movie. What I'm assuming you're saying is the inclusion of the characters is the important part. Not copying the
weird.
story.
It just seems weird to me that they would create a new character instead of like modifying another one.
For Doom, it's totally a strange choice.
Yeah, that's like including and doing a Halo thing without Master Chief.
Right. I 100% agree there.
Or Overcooked without Master Chef.
If you were to even if you were to remove Master Chief, he would have to exist in the movie in some form.
People would riot if Master Chief was not in the Halo movie. Apparently, they don't really care about Doomguy because we've had 2 Doom movies sans Doomguy.
Sans was in it, but not Doom.
Yeah, they had a funny Undertale man in
it.
He was one of the demons.
We gotta have Sans in there.
So we know we're gonna include the Doomguy, right?
Yep.
Okay, so walk me through give me a quick synopsis of kind of the Doom backstory.
There are 2 continuities.
Oh, God.
There is the original Doom story.
I was really hoping you wouldn't say that.
There's the Doom 3 story, and then there's the Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal story.
Now, let me just do the math here. That sounds like 3 continuities.
I'll just go with the first one, because the first continuity, the only important continuity, I guess. What happens here is there is a energy crisis in the future. In this energy crisis, Earth is looking for new ways to get energy and to basically keep the human race doing human things on Earth with very little problems. So they spin out research facilities to the immediate closest planets, i.e. Mars. They also inhabit Mars's 2 moons with these research facilities as well.
Does Mars have moons?
Yes, it does. It's 2. So they set up these research facilities on Mars's 2 moons.
I did not know that.
Yep. What are the names of these 2 moons?
You're asking too much. Mars's 2 moons are Phobos and Deimos. Deimos?
Yeah. Sure. Cool.
Sure, that works.
I was trying to remember myself. Okay, so here's what happens.
Yeah. So they're
introduce Doomguy. He's a Marine, unnamed, who is on Earth.
Is he like pulling security or something?
Well, not at first. He's a Marine on Earth who is told by his superior officer to fire on unarmed civilians. He says no and assaults his superior officer for this. Wow. Because of this, he is given detention to do security work on Mars.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong on Phoebos or whatever, is under attack, and they don't know what the heck's going on. So the Marine squad that is currently the security squad that's on Mars says, hey, we're going to send you up to the moon. Check this out. Because they're still not so happy with the fact that Doomguy got them onto Mars, they leave him out front with a pistol to check the perimeter. These other Marines with the heavy artillery go inside and get slaughtered.
Nice.
So Doomguy is the only one left outside the front gate with a pistol.
But he rocks that pistol.
He does rock that pistol. When he goes into the facility and starts checking this out, he realizes something's wrong. There's a bunch of demons here. Also, the other moon is completely missing.
Oh, man, I hate when that happens. That's what happened to Earth, actually. In like 1953, we used to have 2 moons. But one of them vanished. No one talks about it.
Doomguy, as he is currently called, I don't think he ever actually has a name other than Doomguy. Freaking all we need to know, and all the game really explains to us, is something's wrong here. Here's a bunch of demons, and the humans that get attacked by the demons get turned into zombies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you are fighting demons straight from hell, as well as possessed corpses that use guns against you, as well as can attack and talk to you just like humans would. Except they're possessed and zombified.
Hey, Doomguy.
Hey, Doomguy.
Hey.
You want fun?
Buddy.
Demons show you fun.
Ah.
The demons have found a way to open up a portal
Oh, man.
to this moon of Mars, as well as use the portal to actually just steal away the other moon. Because humans were
they pulled a Despicable Me on
we
it.
found this energy, this unknown energy, but it's like completely unlimited power. Let's use it. And they realize, oh, that's from hell. That's hell energy.
Well, that's demon power.
That's demon power.
Well, it can't hurt, probably.
Now you're playing with power.
Now you're playing with power.
Demon power.
Okay, so how do things end in this continuity?
He basically makes it to the strongest point of hell and reaches what is called the icon of sin, which is pretty much the equivalent of what Satan should be, I guess.
What he wants to be. He hopes to be.
He hopes to be Satan. Satan doesn't apparently exist.
Can't get too religious.
Can't get too religious. So he defeats the icon of sin.
Yeah.
Saves Earth as far as he knows, and gets sent back in a portal to Earth. Doom 2 opens up, and how it opens up is, we opened up that portal because we were already there. And so now all the demons that are really important are actually on Earth taking it over.
Okay, well, I solved your problem right there. We don't need any other Doom game than the first one, because I got the ending right there. Doomguy saves Earth, or he shuts down the portal, and it's like, it's all good. And then
He doesn't shut down the portal. He gets trapped inside. He's having to fight his way through hell. Sorry, I skipped over a part.
Yeah, you kind of skipped over that part.
Because it's a lot to go through, as you probably realize as I'm explaining it.
Yeah.
As he's making his way through the facility, he finds a portal, gets in the portal. Portal basically is shut behind them. Goodbye. You're stuck in hell.
Okay, well, you know what? We can still end it just for the sake of simplicity. We can end it around there.
Sure.
So just so we don't, because we could have him because what does Doomguy like doing? He likes killing without restraint. I think we could all agree on that. So, the portal closes, and then, like at the very end, Doomguy turns around, he sees a bunch of demons, approaching him, and then he cocks his gun, and the movie cuts to black.
We're jumping right in. We've got the ending. It ends.
We got the ending. See you next time. No, let's do the rest of the stuff. Let's do the rest of the movie.
All right. How should it start?
Do we how much of a character do we want Doomguy to be? Do we want him to talk?
In what capacity?
Or, at all? Because in the games he doesn't really talk.
Not while you're playing as him.
Right, yeah. So, do we want him to have, a full character and full dialogue, or do we just kind of want him to be the silent killing machine?
I don't think he should be completely silent, but I also think he should be the kind of guy who maybe presents himself as this horrific... I don't know. Here's a funny thought. For a majority of the film, he is the silent killing machine. Not a majority.
Yeah.
Let's say for the first quarter.
We're not sure if he's just, quiet and meditative or just, real angry.
I think we could keep that in balance until maybe we get later in the film and then reveal...
Yeah, until the demons show up. Because he could be, sitting, with the Marines, they're going to the moon. They're all talking and joking around. And he's sitting in the back quietly and pensively.
He has hands on his knees, kind of hunched over a little bit.
Yeah, we're like, oh man, he's sad about doing Mars detail until he rips some demon's head off, and we're like, oh, okay.
I like that. I actually really like that.
I don't want to start it with the Doomguy assaulting the Superior. I feel like you can do a flashback.
That'd be way too far back. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a flashback. Why are you? Someone's like, why are you here? Something like that. Maybe he's on his way to Mars.
Yeah.
From Earth. And, you get your exposition dump. You get a little bit into his character. And then, he gets there. Things are good. And then, end of Act 1. Something's going down on the moon of Phoebos. And Deimos is gone.
Idea.
Yeah.
With what our current technology is, it takes months to get from Earth to Mars.
Yeah.
What if we implemented the whole stasis idea? Where they were in stasis...
Doing another stasis episode.
Well, I'm actually pulling this from a fun little movie called Rocket Man.
Hey.
Well, what if they were in stasis for a little bit of time, and they get out of stasis, and all the other Marines are yakking. They're like, oh, okay, we're almost here, and they kind of give the exposition, and we could still have that pensive nature. Or we could have even something more intimidating where he's in stasis and we see this just bulk of a man, asleep in this chamber, and they're kind of like, should we even let him out? Like, they don't exactly explain why they're afraid of this guy.
Wait, did he kill his superior officer?
But he assaulted him.
He just attacked him, right?
Yeah, with a knife. Brutally stabbed him 7 times.
I feel like the Marines would kind of denigrate him a little bit and be kind of like, this is a piece of crap. This guy's a piece of crap. We hate this guy.
So it'd be almost a subvert. It would be saying, it's
yeah, and then he killed everybody.
Okay, so we could just open on an undisclosed time between the travel where they're on board this vessel getting there, and they're all in one room together. Doomguy's sitting pensively, like you said, and the other guys are ragging on him.
He's sitting in the back, like with low lights on him, like framing him a little bit, and like everyone else is joking.
Yeah,
I think it'd be okay. Let's answer this real quick, because we kind of with last week's episode, we answered it right at the end. What kind of genre and rating are we thinking for this?
Definitely R. Definitely R.
Yeah, I'm thinking like hard R.
Yeah.
Because let's get juicy with it. Let's get some violence in here.
Doom, its entire reason for existence is for being unnecessarily violent and unnecessarily gory. So total R rating.
With that, let me say my idea, which is like maybe the Marines are like poking fun at him, or like say like, oh, this guy, he can't follow orders, or something like that. And then, like, maybe later, when Doomguy goes in the facility, he sees one of the Marines, and he's, like, badly injured. He's like, please help me. And Doomguy, like, curb stomps him or something.
I don't know if we want to... I want the protagonist to be likable.
What? Why? He's a Doom. He kills demons. That's all he does.
Secret fun fact. Doom's real reason for revenge on the demons is because he had a pet rabbit that they killed.
That's dumb.
He has a pet rabbit named Daisy.
Okay, well now we gotta include a pet rabbit.
We don't have to. We could allude to it.
Wait, how did the demons kill a pet rabbit?
Because when the demons got to Earth, they killed the rabbit.
I think he can just kind of be.
I don't think he can be a jerk. What kind of person has a rabbit and takes care of a little baby bunny and is a jerk?
Well, it's like that cliche where it's like the real tough guy. He's got a really soft spot.
But if he has a soft spot, is he going to curb stomp his...
Yeah, and the guy was a dick to him.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean, no?
I'm saying he wasn't that much of a jerk to him.
They're making fun of him.
He's not going to be upset about what he did.
Are you implying that Doomguy is a forgive and forget kind of guy?
I think Doomguy is the not going to see any of his Marine mates alive kind of guy.
I think Doomguy should hate everybody who ever doubted him, including the demons and Marines.
You can't tell me what to do. You're a demon.
I like the idea. I'm not going to back down from Doomguy being unnecessarily violent.
If you're going to say that he needs to be this ruthless, no tolerance,
Here, I'll give you this. If you want him to not be ruthless, which I imagine is your stance, you have to give me something. You got to give me a reason why, or like something that humanizes him or something. You got to say something other than no.
I think his... What is he fighting for? If we're not including Daisy...
to kill demons.
Yeah. Why?
Because they're demons. You don't really need a good reason.
I mean, but what would be his purpose rather than turning tail and saving his own skin? Why is he going after these demons?
I think he likes killing.
Do you think he's a psychopath?
Yeah.
So your reason for making him ruthless is because you want him to be deranged.
Listen, all the footage I've seen from, admittedly, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, is his Doomguy just not carried and being extremely ruthless.
That is somewhat true for Doom Eternal. But Doom Eternal also has scenes where he kneels before a king. So if this guy is ruthless, he would not kneel to nobody.
Why does he kneel before a king?
Because it's his king.
Now hang on. What? Excuse me?
Oh, you want me to get into what Doom and Doom 16 and Doom Eternal is?
I guess I don't. Didn't expect that. Is Doom Man a demon?
No, but he is divine.
Oh, well, that's fine. the big question, any of these games where it's like a guy walking through a hallway killing things is like, how do you turn that into a compelling story? Especially if like the protagonist isn't talking.
Well, that's why I don't think he should be deranged. Because one of the biggest things we need to do to Doomguy is give him a character arc. That's really going to be one of the only ways that we make this story have potency. Is because if we just have it be deranged shooty man goes in and kills all these demons, it's like...
Yeah, it's not much good
It's just kind of like you're floating through nothing. It might be fun to watch, but it's not compelling.
Well, it'll get old quick.
Yeah. I don't think Doomguy should be heroic by any means. I think he should be self-centered, and I think he should be very human in regards to he feels emotion. He regards certain situations very selfishly, but he has a sense of higher purpose. Be it from his role in the military, or be it from any number of things. What I think should happen. So let's get some key points down before we get into the meat of this. They arrive on Mars. Yeah. I think we could have a couple of small scenes where maybe we see a little bit about Doomguy, and he's like set up doing security on Mars, on the Mars research facility.
And we show him like he's really bored.
Yeah, we could show maybe he does have some kind of violent tendencies. Maybe when he's off duty, he's completely ramming into a punching bag or something, and it gets to the point maybe where we could even show that the other Marines are making him angry, to where maybe he's in the gym, or whatever.
I think it'd be funnier kind of, like in a dark way, if he like internalizes it, and so like he doesn't act like they're pushing him and they're like being like real jerks to him, and like he doesn't do anything, but then when he has the opportunity, when they need his help, he's just like, no.
I don't know. I feel like that would take away all likability from him, unless we just make these other Marines absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
but even
that's what, maybe I didn't express that. Yeah, let's make them like the worst.
Okay, if we're gonna make these Marines absolutely terrible, okay, here's an extension of that.
Yeah.
What if these are the Marines that were under him, and they were told to fire on, we could explain this in exposition, to fire on innocent civilians. Doomguy does not agree to this. He says no.
But and maybe the rest of them do. Yeah, that's not bad.
See, we already see this kind of, they're bad people. And the guy leading them, they have to listen to their superior, so Doomguy says, no, stop. And when the other officer, the one above him, comes in and says, what are you doing? Continue. He just decks him. Okay. If this whole group was sent there as punishment, say, basically now, he gets demoted. He's down to a grunt now, just like them. But because some stupid thing, it could even be something where the government's corrupt and it's trying to cover it up, anybody that it was associated with this gets sent.
Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, they are searching for hell energy.
Okay, yeah, I don't hate that. Maybe because of his actions. You know that like old adage where it's like, one bad apple, quote unquote, ruins the bunch.
Right. Well, and that's definitely a very military point of view.
Yeah, because of Doomguy's actions, they all get sent to Mars as punishment.
And he gets demoted, so now he's the same rank as them.
They hate him.
And now they can actually pick on him because he's not their superior.
I do think it'd be funny. Like, maybe they're kind of aware of, like, what he's capable of, so, like, it never, like, comes to physical violence.
Right, because they've seen what happens.
They would lose. Yeah, because he's, like, this giant, muscular guy. Okay, yeah, that's fun. So they get to Mars, and we see Doomguy kind of pick... This is, like, a weird... Because that's kind of, like, how it goes in, like, a classic, like, 80s movie. You know, you got the main hero, he's down on his luck. And then, like, something happens and he slowly becomes more and more confident. I mean, it's classic storytelling.
I think on Mars, there needs to be one scene where he opens up his locker and there's a picture of a rabbit in it. And that's like where somebody would have a picture of a family. He's got the picture of the rabbit.
He's just staring rapidly at a picture of a rabbit.
Rubs his fingers gently across the frame.
He goes to Mars. He's pulling security. It sucks. Then Deimos disappears. They go to Phoebos to see what's up with that, because that's kind of strange.
That's a little weird.
And then literally all hell breaks loose. And so then Doomguy just goes off.
Yeah.
Do we want to add like a someone in his quote unquote team that he doesn't kill, or something to have someone that he can talk to or have a conversation with?
That depends on the route we want to go. If we want to keep him as silent as possible, we need a character that can talk for him, not in a literal sense, but in a more, here's a character that, for example, hasn't really spoken against him, hasn't really been on his bad side, but maybe doesn't really know him. That gives us a reason for either Doomguy to either give exposition about himself through talking if we do want him to talk, or if he doesn't want to talk, we have somebody who has natural reactions to what's going on, while Doomguy is completely unfazed.
Maybe we can have him like come across a researcher or something on Phoebos.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you know, he can kind of give some exposition dump. You know how it goes.
You
and
could
then
have
maybe
the
they team
timid,
up a little bit.
The complete contrast of you have timid research science guy with... Yeah. I think if Doomguy says anything in the early parts of it, should be when he starts getting in there. The research facility, say whether or not he's actually talking to anybody in particular. He would be have to. It wouldn't make sense if he was talking to himself. A demon comes running at him. He's unfazed.
I'm angry.
He shoots it with his pistol more times than is necessary. And then, but he's unfazed. And the guy would ask him, well, how can we, how do we know how to kill it? It's a demon. He says, well, I've got a gun. He's very logical, but in a deranged kind of this.
Yeah. I think it'd actually be funny if like he doesn't talk. He just like gestures with his gun.
This brings the second question.
He shoots the demon again.
This brings the second question. Should we show Doomguy's face a lot?
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. I don't want to do the thing where his helmet's only on for like a few seconds in the film, and it's like, referential.
Once he goes into the station, like I think he's pretty much got the armor on for the rest of the movie.
We could easily do angles where you can see through his visor and see his face, But
or he's just good enough of an actor that like his body language will speak for him.
Let's go ahead and plan this up.
Right.
Bad Marines really just rag on him.
Yeah. As they're going to Mars.
They rag on Mars. They continue to rag on him upon Mars, ruthlessly.
Security detail.
Yep.
Doomguy sucks.
Does his job. He does it near silently, if not entirely silently.
He's like here's what I think would be cool. If we imply or show that he's like resigned to his fate. Like he knows he did the right thing and he accepts the punishment. But when he has the opportunity to overcome, to break free of his chains, quote unquote, when the demons show up, he just goes
in what capacity is that? Is that as his job as security detail, or is that just as him as a
That's just
Marine?
Him getting all that anger out, I think. I don't even think it has anything to do with like a job or service. It's just like
he now has a means to just let go.
He has an outlet now. Yeah.
I like that. I do like that. Because then we can just make him seem soulless, but then it's perfectly normal.
I think we have to imply that Doomguy's passion in life is killing demons. And he is perfectly content with doing that for the rest of his life.
He's found this passion.
Yeah, like he has no problem with just staying in hell as long as he gets ammo pickups. Which I think is that's kind of what the game implies, right? Like,
sure.
He likes doing this.
That would be in line with how the actual arc of the first continuity ends. He stays in hell.
Yeah, because the first game you said ends when he's in hell, right? He gets trapped.
It ends when he gets the portal back to Earth. So.
Oh wait, so he does go back to Earth?
Because he defeats the icon of sin and gets the portal back to Earth.
I thought you said the portal closed.
When he gets in there, there's a gap. So what happens is he's in the facility.
Wait, what?
He goes to hell, finds the icon of sin.
Yeah.
He destroys several monsters. Destroys the icon of sin at the end because he's stuck in hell. And then after he destroys that, it opens up a portal back to Earth.
Okay. Well, I think we could modify that a little bit to see, like, maybe the icon of sin is what, I don't know, it's controlling the demons or whatever. We can make up a reason later. But
it has its purpose. It exists and it stays in one place. Yeah. So that's all we really need to know.
It opens the portal or something, but maybe they didn't destroy it right, so the demons are still coming. And so Doomguy, like, pushes the researcher through the portal and then it closes.
Because then you have the one character who could go on to share the legacy.
In the sequel, Doom 2, the researcher finds Doomguy back in hell. He's still there. What's he doing?
What are you doing here? He's got a little drink. Got shades over his helmet.
He found a demon rabbit.
He made it himself.
Okay, so we have. I like the beginning. I like it a lot. I think it could be fun. I feel like this is gonna be kind of. I guess lighthearted isn't the right word, but like a little bit of tongue in cheek, like dark comedy action movie.
Yeah,
like it's not all funny, but like there are a lot of funny moments.
I like that, but the humor does not come from jokes. The humor comes from the audience reaction to Doomguy's reaction.
Yeah, Doomguy's a funny guy. They go to the moon, and they tell him to wait outside with a pistol, and he does, and then like he hears screams or something, whatever, and then he goes in, he sees a bunch of dead bodies, he sees the Marine, curb stomps him.
I don't think he should curb stomp him.
No, can he just shoot him?
No, I think you should leave him.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. And then he goes in and starts fighting demons. You know how it is. We could kind of have this be a little like quote unquote horror because all he has is the little pistol.
Oh, I got something that can make it even worse. The first scene we were talking about.
Hit me, baby.
In that first scene, the guy's got a basic. Like, I don't know what the term would be because I'm trying to remember what the next weapon you get chronologically.
Probably like a shotgun or something, right?
The Marine that is deathly injured. Like, let's say we can see how deathly injured he is. But also, it gives another kind of aspect to Doomguy's human character. You can say that this guy's whole torso is ripped off.
Sure.
So he is going to die. Nothing can be done about it. He looks at Doomguy, and he's asking for help, and he's got a gun in his hand, say the next gun, and Doomguy comes up like he's about to help him and takes the gun.
I love it. Like he reaches down, and then the Marine reaches his hand up, and Doomguy knocks his hand out of the way, grabs the shotgun. And then, I think we come face to face with our first demon. Like maybe when he has the pistol.
We could do one of the iconic, because we have to remember there are going to be a few basic types of demons that are probably going to show up a bunch.
I mean, we can include. I don't really care about
zombies.
Any of that. Yeah, whatever.
We gotta have a cackle demon, which is the big ball demon.
You gotta have the big ball. I think Doomguy should then find the researcher. Like not too, because we don't want him wandering around corridors for too long. Even though that's all that's the entire game. He finds the researcher, and then do you think then they should start talking about the eye in hell? Or
I think Doomguy's just kind of doing his own reconnaissance here. He's trying to understand what's going on because obviously these other guys failed. They weren't good enough. So
they weren't hard enough.
So he goes in to just do his job and find out what's going on. He's killing demons along the way.
Of course.
And ends up talking to a researcher who obviously would be very surprised at Doomguy's reaction and survivability at this point. Yeah. This researcher's full on Half-Life cowering, behind his equipment.
Gordon?
Gordon?
Is that you?
Freeman.
But what happens then?
I think the researcher would explain what is exactly going on, but not
how much would
exposition.
The researcher know? Would the researcher know all about the eye and the portal and all that stuff?
I think the researcher might know about the energy. The researcher might know about I think the researcher would definitely know about the portal, but wouldn't know to what extent what's going on with it.
And then maybe it's like, well, if we can get inside of it, I have this device that can point us to the source of the energy, or something like that.
Oh, he's got a little Geiger counter.
He's got a little something, little Pip Boy, and so that's their quote unquote quest is to get inside hell. Here's my big question: should we just have it be the two of them?
I don't think it should be something where the researcher and Doom start getting along real well. I don't want any real development.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, should we leave it at that, or should we maybe add a third member?
I'm going to say no because...
then that's pretty simple. It's literally just kind of trials and tribulations of Doomguy and the researcher. Doomguy try to keep the researcher alive. Although this does bring up the question, maybe it's not a buddy movie where they're quipping back and forth,
Sure.
Because I assume that's what you meant when you said buddy movie.
Right.
I think I think the closest Doomguy and the researcher get is that Doomguy sends researcher through the portal at the end.
He helps him, but that's more of a sense of duty than anything else.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's really selfish because he just likes staying in hell killing demons.
Sure.
Although I guess the researcher could have stayed there with him. So it's just kind of a Doomguy and the researcher going through bad stuff together. should we have any character development of Doomguy though? Because obviously when you make a movie that's heavy action, you want to have some downtime. You want to have some moments where you can catch your breath.
We could transfer the character arc to the scientist.
Okay.
This is a weird route. But
Yeah,
we could
talk me through it.
Maybe the scientist has some kind of flaw that is introduced very shortly after he is introduced. Something that doesn't take a while to explain.
As long as it's not cowardice, because that's a little easy.
That's very easy. I think it shouldn't be cowardice. I think it should be something maybe he is hiding something from Doomguy.
Maybe not
he
hiding.
Knows, maybe he actually did something really wrong.
Well, I would just say maybe he has to deal with the guilt that he opened the portal.
Yeah.
Although that's not really easy to resolve, huh?
Unless we give it into the sense where he is conflicted because he realizes his mistake and is unable to stop it and puts the blame on himself, but doesn't realize that he could use the help of somebody who can actually put a stop to it.
Right, but how does he resolve that? Because assumedly,
because in the end, Doomguy's the one who ends up being able to help him because he's a helpless little twerp. I think he would come to realize, even if it's in the last few minutes of the movie, he can't solve this problem by himself, and he's got somebody who can help him with this. I don't know, because you could say he could be prideful. You could even go to the extent and say that this researcher is trying to stop it by himself, but he also knows that he can't do anything about these demons.
I like that.
So until Doomguy comes along, he's between a rock and a hard place. We could even go the extra mile and say maybe at the beginning he's spiteful of Doomguy because you've got this tough Marine who's not afraid of anything, and you're over here thinking, how?
Or maybe Doomguy just keeps getting distracted by killing demons. The researcher's like, no, we have to go this way. Come on.
Oh, that'd be funny.
So there's some tension there. Although I do it's kind of Doomguy and the researcher have opposite arcs, because Doomguy is he can do everything, but he won't do anything until he has the opportunity. But the researcher he can't actually do anything, but he wants to do everything. So it's kind of you got a fun inverse character development there, or characters.
I actually really like that.
Yeah.
By the end, you could say Doomguy kind of understands now, and that's why he stays.
Yeah, by the end, they kind of both work to their own strengths.
I like it would be kind of funny. I don't know. We couldn't make it too cheesy, but he pushes the guy through the portal, and as the portal's closing, you could still see through it, something like that. And the Doomguy just kind of turns and gives a thumb up. And it's just kind of, they both come to a middle ground on this,
Yeah.
In reality, Doomguy's just there to kill demons, but...
Yeah, Doomguy, but the researcher doesn't know that. So like I said, should we have these down moments where we get a little character development or something like that? Maybe we can have a scene where they're eating some rations or something, I don't know. And the researcher's I opened the portal and I have to deal with that. Stuff like that gives them more character. Sure. And then should we try to develop the Doomguy in those scenes, or should we just kind of keep him as this kind of silent brute guy?
I think the Doomguy changes without showing it. For example, over the time, maybe some questions are asked by the scientist and we don't get an answer. Either literally the Doomguy is silent to these answers, or he doesn't answer them in the way that you would expect him to. By the end of the movie, we see him change only in those last scenes where he's, he saves the researcher, and he actually we see this sense of doing something because it's the right thing to do, rather than it's just what I want to do. And it's so much that it could come what seems kind of suddenly. But you could also say that since the Doomguy is silent most of the time, he's actually thinking over these questions. He's not responding to them then because he's still really angry, but he's thinking about them.
Can you give me an example?
Let's say we go to the ration scenes. Doomguy does not eat. He's got his helmet on. He's not eating a darn thing.
He doesn't eat at all.
But, the other guy's eating. Maybe offers him something. Doomguy just kind of turns. I would love it. When in certain scenes, his helmet's on. You can't see through the helmet. And he just turns and he's just looking silent.
You could... the Doomguy is patrolling the little area they're in, checking for demons and stuff. And the researcher's trying to connect with him.
He's not responding because he's doing something else.
He holds his hand up, or he says something this is a lot easier if you shut up.
I like that.
Cool. And then maybe at the beginning, when Doomguy and the researcher first meet, they do have to work together to destroy this thing, but they're not working together. So like Doomguy's just like moving on ahead, like blasting demons, and the researchers like struggling to keep up.
Yeah.
And then by the end, like, you know, they're keeping in pace, and they're working together. So it's like a literal visual difference between where they started and where they are now. Not friendship, but like they understand each other.
And that's what I think the thumbs up would be. Because it's just kind of that mutual understanding. He's finally responding to him, you know, in a positive way.
I like that. Yeah.
Do you want the researcher to commit anything violent during the film? Or do you think he should just be not completely scared, but just kind of completely powerless until the end?
I don't have a problem with him doing violent stuff. I don't think he'd be like
he's not going to be right alongside Doomguy, but I'm saying like, you know, already legs cut off demon is crawling up to him and he goes, and he shoots a gun at him, you know, or something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Or maybe, what if like Doomguy and him are like sneaking through because they're like there's a bunch of demons or something, and then the researcher gets scared by a demon or something, he shoots it, and then like everything just like converges on their gunshot. So it's like he's trying to do right, but he keeps messing up.
Yeah.
Although I guess Doomguy wouldn't really mind that, would he?
Probably not.
He'd be like, yeah, boy.
That could be another funny little thing. Like, with the lack of real response, we don't really understand that Doomguy is loving this. And maybe the researcher kind of thinks he's still being a burden and a nuisance. And Doomguy just is kind of secretly enjoying this whole thing.
Yeah, Doomguy just, like, shrugs.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Doomguy's like, it's all right. Okay, the big issue right now, I like what we got. I don't know if it's enough to carry a movie for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just because I feel like even if we
that's where we got to come up with the obstacles that they're going to cross together.
Well, not even necessarily, because we don't really do that on Spec Station too much, just because that's like really specific. But I do think we should maybe throw in some more characters, or like a quote unquote, I guess antagonist would be the right word. Just like an agent of change.
The Icon of Sin does have a voice. We could give the Icon of Sin a voice. There are also two really big demons in the first game. There is the Mastermind, which is a spider brain thing, and then there is the Cyber Demon, or the Baron of Hell.
Is it like, would it be too video gamey for them to have to kill those two quote unquote bosses before they go to hell?
They're in hell. Those things are in hell.
Oh, they're already in hell?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
And I think think here's the thing. Here's a real possibility.
Mm-hmm.
We could still include the defeat of the Icon of Sin at the end of the film, but say the portal is only open for a certain period of time, and so for obviously Doomguy intends to stay regardless, but he makes sure that the other guy can get through, and that's kind of the final struggle as he pushes the other guy through.
Maybe he has to like fight off demons or stuff to get the researcher through.
And we can either include them there, or we can include them earlier.
Well, I was talking more about, because I'd imagine the structure of the movie, just rough, is Mars first act, second act research facility, third act hell.
Yeah.
I was talking more on that big second act. Like, what can we include in there so it's not just Doomguy and researcher walking through dark halls killing demons? Like, obviously we can have different specific encounters.
Sure.
But I think maybe we should throw in another character. Maybe they die or whatever, and it helps with the researcher's arc or something like that, just to kind of break up the monotony.
Maybe really at this point the researcher is giving up. Not to say that they're going to be completely out of it, but they're giving up in the sense of they don't think there's any hope for this.
Right.
Their arc will develop as they see what Doomguy is able to do. He's actually able to fight this. He's actually able to push back. So he kind of starts to get hope from that. Then we could say big push. Another random person at the facility gives some information. And that information says, hey, there's a way to stop this. But to do it, you have to go into hell.
Or, okay, what if someone on Mars gets in contact with him? So it's not like a physical person, but it's kind of like, you know, like an audio or maybe
hologram.
Like, because there's
this is set in the future, so you can have space technology.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the old like I'm taking command here, because maybe they outrank both Doomguy and the researcher.
They would obviously outrank the researcher.
Yeah, the researcher has no rank, but it's like Doomguy and the researcher are trying to say like no, or I guess the researcher is saying like no, we got to do this. I know what we have to do, and the military guy is like, no, you're coming back. You're doing things my way. And then it can be kind of a
Doomguy smashes the console.
Yeah, it can be kind of a repeat of Doomguy
assaulting it. It's the same officer. It's the same officer.
I don't think we should do that.
Oh, I think so. And he's got like a bruise on his
face. That'd be way too cheesy. But we can imply it's like a similar
situation.
Kind of,
yeah.
Yeah, and then we also start a question.
Oh, no. Then the researcher would freak out, because the researcher has this very strong sense of, like, you don't talk back to him. He freaks out, and he's like, oh, what are we going to do? And Doomguy shrugs off and is like, done this before, just like.
Yeah, where are they going to sit me down? I'm already in hell.
I love that. No. Perfect dialogue exchange. Researcher finds out the way to shut it off is to go to hell. Government official who obviously wants to continue this for whatever reason says, no, you're not going to do that.
Oh, that's better. That's better than what I was saying.
He says, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to stop this right now. And Doomguy breaks it. The guy says, out. Don't you know the kind of punishment you could get? And he says, what's going to happen? We're already going to hell. Like,
that's good.
He's already stating this to the guy that they're going to finish this,
That's awesome.
Once again, big spike in encouragement for researcher because he's like, we can fix this,
Well, this guy's
crazy.
Going to hell. I guess we'll be okay. That's good. Yeah. Should they send in more military guys halfway through the movie to try to stop Doomguy and the researcher from going to hell and trying to shut this thing off?
Okay. Here's where we could incorporate the zombies, because you could have these fairly human people who have been possessed by demons. We could have them talk. We could have them be human in nature, but we have it where something's off with them.
Do they look like zombies?
In the game, they do, but I think we could make them transitional.
Or maybe they're wearing armor or something, so it's harder to tell. Yeah, that's one of them. Maybe they quote unquote team up with a zombie, and Doomguy's a little suspicious, but the researcher's well, the more help we have, the better.
Oh yeah, and then of course the Doomguy would end up killing them when they start,
Yeah, the zombie's right this way, gentlemen. I'll take you to that portal.
I like that. Or it could be looks like another Marine, and then when the helmet's removed, they're just completely, mutilated. I like that.
Brains flowing out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's fun. So we're just talking just full adrenaline, full just
not all the time.
Action. Well, not all, but for the most part,
right.
It's heavy action, heavy violence, heavy gore. Just get that adrenaline pumping, baby.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm good with that. It's simple. It's definitely simple. Do you think compared to Doom 2006 and Doom Annihilation that we're doing a better job?
Significantly. I think it's a fine line to tread, because once again, why would the filmmakers have made the movies the way they did if they didn't feel that it was a good idea to take the original story and somehow rework it?
That's the big question of any video game movies.
Right.
Why do you guys keep messing up?
Well, and you have to look at where they messed up. I don't think it was bad that they incorporated things from the story that they did. I think it was bad that they tried to create characters that could not fill the role of the character they removed.
Yeah, there's a very obvious hole.
Exactly. And you try in your head, you try to fill that hole when you see these cool, hardened Marine characters.
Doomguy has to epitomize how players of Doom feel killing demons, which is having a good time. And if you don't do that, if you don't do that, you've kind of messed up.
In the famous words of Reggie Fils-Aimé.
If it's not Doomguy, why bother? So, should we ever go to Earth in the movie?
Not in this one.
I'm fine with that. Except for that brief flashback of Doomguy punching his superior.
I don't think it should be a flashback, and here's why. I think it could be described by the guards. We'll see Doomguy kind of leaning over, maybe kind of clenches his fingers on his knee a bit. We see him internalizing this, what they're talking about. As they're continuing on, our focus right now at this point is on Doomguy, but we are hearing in the background a continuation of what happened, why they're being sent there. And they could shrug off the fact that, we were following orders. All you had to do was follow orders. And, and somebody could say, oh, but this softy ain't up for, firing on civilians,
Maybe don't say that, but yeah.
Well, we could have them reword
this
it in
softy
such a way.
can't handle war. Something like that.
Yeah. It almost makes you want to make him talk at that point, and I don't know if he should, because it makes you would want him to rebuttal, but maybe he's too strong for that.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if like he doesn't talk until like he goes into the facility to fight demons, where he just like literally internalizes everything.
Strongest scenes I like so far.
Yeah.
Out of this that we would 100% keep is completely mutilated corpse is asking for help. Doomguy takes his gun.
I love it.
Leaves. Higher commanding officer or researcher is telling them, do not continue this research.
He
great. Punches it, and they say they're going to hell.
Well, I think
I like that.
What I wanted to say was, I think the reason we should show it, and we could show it like this, like maybe they're in the Mars station and they're getting registered, and maybe there's like a security footage of him punching the officer.
Yeah.
So that way it's like, just because you want the visual of it, so then later when he punches the hologram, you can kind of have a callback to that visual scene instead of just hearing about it.
Yeah, that could be. I like the idea of the security footage or something.
Should we have Doomguy like kind of ramp up in anger, like in the beginning, where it's not, he doesn't like punch anyone, but like maybe he's like slamming his locker really hard, or like.
Well, that's why I said we have a gym scene.
Yeah, the punching bag.
We could have a gym scene where they're continuing to rag him and say he's punching a punching bag, and he just keeps punching. And it could be something as subtle as when he walks away, they kind of look and they scoff, but then it zooms in on the punching bag, and there's just holes. Like, they're literal holes.
Yeah, like
where,
sand is pouring from it.
Yeah.
Do like a little montage. Like, he goes to the shooting range, and he has like 10 guns laid out in front of him, and he just like starts blasting.
Yeah, and he's got like perfect aim, quick shot. There's like ridiculous ways his anger is helping him.
And then, yeah, like he gets like really into it. Like, he jumps over the barrier to like punches the target. Yeah, that's fun. Should we give Doomguy any kind of like emotional thread? Like you mentioned the rabbit, and we can have a cameo. I like the idea of the.
I like it just even if it's not pointed out. Rabbit. Like, he opens up his locker. Yeah, there's a picture of the bunny. It's. Okay.
Like maybe he like pets the bunny's face or something, but like we don't want to give him a family or anything like that.
We give him an iPod.
What?
At the end of the movie, he puts in the earbuds, and he listens to some obviously campy song while he's destroying the demons, and we have a flashback to all the times that he was with Daisy.
I don't know about that.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Once he gets to hell, you said the eye. What's it called? The eye of.
Excuse me, icon. The icon of sin.
Eye of Sauron.
All right.
You said it talks?
In the game, it is reverse audio.
Oh, so it doesn't like... So it doesn't have a conversation.
And in Doom Eternal, when it shows up, it does have a very large presence, also because it is giant.
Should we throw something in there? Have it be implied that like it's Satan talking?
We could have like it be Satan, yeah.
What should it?
I mean, I think it should represent what basically is the equivalent of Satan in this world, in this universe. That
I mean, it is the icon of sin, so it's kind of implied that it's, Satan.
It itself is John Romero, which in the game it actually is John Romero.
Yeah, because there's the Easter egg,
inside, right? Yeah.
Okay, so this is not what. So I'm looking at pictures here. This is not what I was expecting when you said an icon of sin. I was thinking like a giant amulet or something. This is just.
It is a giant.
It is a big old head. So should it like I don't know, tempt classic Satan? You know how he does, like try to tempt the researcher or Doomguy.
I think it should end horribly, where it attempts to tempt Doomguy, but once again, there's just kind of that silence response. There's this silent response from Doomguy that just turns into aims his pistol. Just like.
But what would the icon of sin try to tempt Doomman with? Because he's already doing what he likes.
Sure, but does Satan know that?
I don't. But that's what I'm asking. What should Satan try? Or excuse me, the icon of sin. Satan's copyrighted by Jesus. What would it try to tempt him with?
That is a question.
Maybe you should try to tempt the researcher.
That'd be a little easier. Yeah.
Like tempt him with power or like fame, and then Doomguy like snaps him out of it by killing the icon of sin. That's fun. Maybe it's like the icon of sin's having a deep conversation with the researcher. And it's like it's really close on both of them, and then like you see the researcher like talking to himself, internalizing it, and like he turns around, you see the icon of sin in the background, out of focus. Then you see just Doomguy just like yeet up on it and start blasting.
Yeah, starts rocket launching at it.
He just destroys it. And then,
I think that'd be funny. The researcher's like contemplating, like, I could take this, and if something this powerful is offering me this, and then it just gets obliterated.
Doomguy's back
so it's
there.
Like it's not that powerful.
That'd be funny. So what's the connection between the icon of sin and the portal?
That's not very much explained.
Yeah, it's just like there's
it's in the game. It's just kind of like you beat the game. Here's the reward for beating the game, which is also implied in the second game that it was a trap.
Well, maybe we can. Okay, I was gonna say maybe the researcher.
Because in the second game, it was implied that the portal was opened up so that the demons could re-enter Earth.
Or yeah, the icon of sin is keeping the portal open. And so they have to destroy it, and then the researcher can keep the portal open for like a minute with his device, just enough time for them to escape, but they can't both get through.
That would also imply that there's already demons on Earth, kind of thing.
Or unaccounted demons.
Yeah.
So when we do inevitably do a sequel called the second part, Doom Part
2,
2.
Hell on Earth.
Doom, he's back.
Doom again?
Doom Eternal. He's a Jesus now. He's an angel.
Oh, no. You just opened a can of worms.
I love Doomguy. He's my favorite. You got Gabriel. And you got Doomguy.
Both of them known for their swords.
Their big old swords.
One is laser sword, but that's okay.
That's Gabriel's.
Gabriel has a lightsaber.
There's a deleted scene from Matthew when Gabriel
which
visits Mary.
Which one talked to Mary?
He says
it was Gabriel. Yeah.
He says blah blah whatever. You're gonna have a kid. Congratulations, you're a woman. You don't get a choice. And then he says, check this baby out.
He says the true weapon of a Jedi.
And Mary's like, what is that? And he's like, you'll find out.
He did it, and then he says a weapon from a more civilized time.
And then she blasts him with a pistol, blaster pistol.
Mary shot first.
And then Gabriel says,
McClunky.
McClunky. And that's how Doom 2 ends. That's how Doom 2 begins. That's your cold open.
The cold open into Doom 2.
Cold open, it makes no sense. So that's our movie, Doom. I guess we're just going to call it Doom, huh?
I think so.
Well, there's already a Doom. There's already a Doom, though.
You can call it...
what if you call it...
That's actually a good question. It, I don't know, it's weird. I think we should put a word in front of Doom, as opposed to putting a word behind Doom.
The Doom.
No. A Doom.
What if we called it Doomguy?
Doom.
Just really get our message out.
If we did that, we should call it Doom Slayer.
I'm fine with that, I guess. I don't have a problem with that. It's not great, but they already kind of took Doom.
Yeah.
So, call it Doom 64.
Doom 65. What happened to 3 through 63?
They pulled a Todd Howard on us again. Went from 4 to 76, went from 3 to 64.
I knew there was a reason why we did these in order.
Well, and who owns the Doom franchise now? Bethesda, that's right.
Thank you for joining us on this fantastic episode of Speculation Station. If you would like to hear more of this, you can find it on any of these streaming services.
Spotify, iTunes, YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah. We're all over the place. Or you can kind of check our website, which has a link to all of our podcasts and shows and videos, etc. At Speculative Reelism. That's realism with 2 E's, like a film reel.com. Also on there is a link to our Patreon. If you would like to support us, help us make these plethora of shows, I would say. And yeah, help us out, subscribe, comment, share the show with a friend if they're into Doom. Who isn't into Doom? I never even played Doom and I like it.
All aboard. No.
Well, it looks like it's time for us to pull off. We're leaving the Speculation Station, everyone. So if you're coming aboard, let's do it.
We'll see you on the next stop.
Choo choo. Bye.